Good day, fellas, and thank you for tuning in. This is T4 Madden Chalk Talk. And you are live with Burmese Star. Today, we are running a fire Dallas Cowboys wing stack scheme. Attacking with unstoppable progression reads. With deep shots for every coverage our desperate opponents try. Take a moment to sub and turn on notifications so you don't miss anything. Hit that thumb and drop a note after. Tell us what you think.
Alright fellas, thanks as always for joining me today. We are going to, as mentioned, be going through the Dallas Cowboys offense. This is part one of what is going to be an amazing scheme. I usually use the Dallas Cowboys offense myself every year, and this is typically an ebook that I charge money for, but this year we are putting it up for free because there's been an overwhelming level of support and love from you guys in the community, so I want to just go ahead and do something for the Discord, do something for the Chalk Talk crew. So what we're gonna do though, you see me making changes. The main change you want to make is you want to make sure you have speed at fullback because he's going to be playing on the wing. We're going to be going over wing stack today. I'm just best two receivers here, so the Cowboys have three really good ones. I just keep Cooper and Lamb in. Fast tight end would be great. Jarwin isn't the ideal tight end, to be honest. Now what I do is I move Tyron Smith, and put him at left guard because the main run that we use involves some pulling, so I like to have my left guard and my right guard be a little bit more agile. So we're gonna go down to wing stack. We're gonna flick that right stick over 3 times, and that says fullback wing, so that's gonna put Tony Pollard on the wing. We're gonna take stick out, and I put in power O. Again, that's the run we use that features the pulling guards, so that's why I moved Tyron Smith. We'll take inside zone out and replace it with mash spot. And then we'll take out PA read and replace it with smash drive. We do use full vertical some as well, I'll show you that, but we're going to come out in PA read. And we're going to come out in a random play. Now the main plays, especially the base play, these are all progression read. It doesn't matter what the coverage is. You can call these against everything. This is more about setting up your opponent and then looking to see what your opponent's doing and adjusting to it. So this is very hard to stop. See, I blocked the running back, and I'm going to motion over Amari Cooper. When he comes over, his route beats just about everything, every man in every zone. So you're going to find guys using a lot of hard flats. You'll find guys trying to use his route. And the issue is, once that happens, Tony Pollard gets open a lot. This post is one that gets open against everything when you motion Coop over. If Coop stays here and they both go on the routes they're on, the spacing isn't that great. And then Jarwin, when he comes out late. So you have users who are focusing everything over here on the right side of the field, and Blake comes out usually to an empty field. I'll show you what we start to do once users start making heavy adjustments. So we're going to motion Coop over. And you'll see actually there's a half flat there, so we had to hit Tony Pollard. So you make this read, right? You're not going to just blindly throw it to Coop. So again, we're going to block the running back. Coop. This time Coop's open, so we'll send it, we'll hit Coop, right? So now, some of the changes we start to make is we'll put A on the drag for instance, right? You want to block your running back. So if everything's coming back this way, users starting to chase that way, you'll have A going back the opposite way. A also helps Axe get open a little bit faster, as if he didn't get open fast anyway. We'll run it stock again because I want to hit Axe one time without anything underneath it, so you can see how well he gets open. There he is in space. And then the other adjustment we make to this now, a lot of times you'll see it might not get open right here, but we'll streak A. Because a lot of times the user ignores A. But again, it didn't get open right there. Sometimes your opponent is using A, and then there are other times they're sending blitzes and things along those lines. So sometimes streaking A gets you big gains. That's usually, you can usually tell pre-snap if you should or shouldn't streak A. Once you start seeing the adjustments your opponent's making, of course, that's when you start making your adjustments. You might be able to get A here depending on what that linebacker is doing. See, yeah, we can get into the inside. Alright, so that's what we're doing PA read. We're not going to belabor any of this. I'm going to show you the other base setups. there are three setups essentially that we're using with that same motion that I would call base setups, and we're going to go against random plays for all of them. With mash, we're going to streak pollard, we're going to put jarring on a smart routed out, and we'll put coop on and out. We're going to motion coop, again we're using the same motion. So they're used to coop hitting this right side hard, and they're going to be usering and putting half flats out, and coop can cut right back here and find vacancy in the middle of the field. It's going to happen time and again, but you have to set them up with PA read first. It's absolutely important. Now, if you do not have 10 yards to go, say you have 3 or 4 yards to go, Blake Jarwin, I will put on a curl instead of the smart routed out route. You see his out route gets open there, but we didn't have much time. I will go into instant replay and show that real quickly though, because again, I don't want to wait until I get the right look to see that he's open, but you can see he's open. Actually, you can see our streak is wide open as well. So they were sending heat. Let's do that one more time. And then of course that deep dig does a great job finding space as well. So now we're going to take a look. Actually, let's do this one more time. I think we're seeing heat again, so I'm thinking we're going to be able to hit one of our running backs. If so, it looks like they're dropping off though. But yeah, see, so we can hit that, and if you can get the edge there, you can actually pick up pretty big yards with that running back. Alright, so moving on to the third of our base plays, third of our 3 base plays. Again, this wing stack is the first edition or the first volume of this playbook. There are many more to come. So now I actually put the tight end on the flat here. I'm sorry, I put the tight end on the drag and the fullback on the flat. The reason I don't put the tight end on the flat and just leave the fullback on his drag is because they bump into each other. So you absolutely can, but I prefer it like this because it's a little bit cleaner. So again, he's used to everything going to the right. And now you're bringing Coop right back into the middle of the field as opposed to him going out to the edges. And those motion corners that turn into post do a great job being zone and man. And then of course you'll also have this wheel. If you see it zone, B will carry out that zone and you can hit the wheel with ease. Of course the drag will be your check down. So again, this is another one. No need to belabor. That's a simple setup. We all understand what that setup is and what it does. Now, things that I am doing against. So what happens, of course, you're forcing these guys, you're forcing your opponent into showing his hand. He's going to start calling different defenses to try to stop this thing. So you can cover for a drop. We're going to motion Amari over and we'll put him on that apprentice post. We'll block the tight end, flat the fullback on the wing, and then we will wheel the running back. You may or may not need to double team. And you'll see Amari gets right over the top of a cover 4 drop. We were under pressure, but you guys understand the pin concept. You know how that works. Again, we're not going to belabor the point. Let's cover 4 drop. Going on to cover 3. So against cover 3, we'll put Amari on the dig. You can keep the running back on his route. You can block him. And then we're going to motion over Tony Pollard. And you'll see your tight end. That's a lot of space right in the middle of the field. And when you have the faster tight ends, you can imagine that actually looks a lot better. Now, I'll quickly show you the setup that is pretty much beating everything else. I shouldn't even say pretty much. It is beating everything else. Now, I use mash pot usually when I'm doing this. You can do it. You can do it out of any one of these looks because the main thing is you need X on a drag and you need Y on a fade. That's it. So cover 2, you're gonna see he gets in between those 2 zones. And so that same thing will happen with cover 9 because of course that is the side where the cover 2 is. So we may as well just go ahead and do cover 9 to show you that right away. So this is cover 9 show 2 from nickel 245. Gonna be the exact same look. So he gets between the 2 blue zones, the cloud and the deep. Now I'll show you what happens against both of the cover 6s and both of the cover 4 match defenses. And that'll be it for this first part of the Cowboys ebook for Madden 22 finally. Okay, so we'll start with cover 4 palms. Y on the fade, X on the drag. These ones are pretty. When you come up against the cover 6s and the cover 4 matches, you're going over the top and you can close your eyes and run to the end zone and then just kick your action point and keep it moving. So That was that. Mash bar concept. We did palms. Let's do quarters. Okay, there's a quarters dime. Y on the fade. X on the drag. See again. You see that the safety over Amari. You'll see he actually bites to the inside, and because of the fact that Amari is aligned to the inside of Lamb, it messes with the coverage principles. Of course, if Amari was to the outside, it might not be quite so bad, but since he's to the inside, it messes with those principles a bit. So we're gonna do cover 6 because we already did cover 9. Cover 6, invert, and cover 6. We'll do invert first. And the truth of the matter is, they look the exact same as palms and quarters, maybe even worse, to be honest. There you go, easy completion. That's invert, and we'll just do cover 6 regular. And like I said, that's going to be it for this first part of the ebook. It's very, very simple, but it's extremely hard to stop. So what I can tell you is that I actually, in Madden 21, I was using this towards the end of Madden 21 once I saw the Cowboys playbook and that this was going to be in there. And I started to see a lot of cover 6. For some reason, people default to cover 6 a lot. So, and one of the things I'll do too is if I set this up, I'll put the cursor over here on Amari, because now, as a defender, you're taking one last breath, preparing for me to motion him over. But we do this, and you're not ready for it. You're not even thinking that anything's coming, right? You might even grab a cup of coffee to take a sip of your coffee real quick because you're expecting me to do that motion. So we catch you off guard. So I know what you're thinking. Deep zones, well, all zones right now in Madden 22 are garbage. They don't work. I have a video. I have this exact same video in Madden 21 that I actually shared with 3 of my Discord members. That's Altered Vision, Monster65, and Rod Mac. I shared this with them. It works the exact same way. So when they fix the zones in Madden 21, this still beat them up. When they fix the zones in Madden 22, this is likely still going to beat them up. So you have setup ridiculously hard to stop. You're going to see what your opponent is doing to stop them, and then you're going to be able to just bomb your opponent and make him pay the price. I'll be back soon with the next update, which is most likely going to be empty tray stack. So we'll start with the stack offenses.
Thanks for rocking with the squad. Remember, real life comes first, but when you do pick up the sticks, give 'em hell.